The senior boys on the track team host a party every year. It's a tradition. I had never been, but at first it was what I expected. All the boys with fur coats and canes, smoking blunts, acting all pimp like the fucking pimps they were pretending to be, and all us girls were sort of dancing around them, all hoed out, getting pimped at a Brooklyn Heights townhouse. Ben Murray, who's captain of the track team, he was sort of head pimp for the night. So he goes, "Okay, time for pimps to pick their hoes. Pimps up, hoes down, motherfuckers. Get on your knees, sluts." And I guess this is something that happens every year because all of the upperclassmen girls dropped to their knees immediately, and all the guys started walking around inspecting us. And Ben's rapping at the top of his lungs, "Bitch, hit that track, catch a date, and come and pay the kid." Sam Reisler picked me. He's a senior, and he's definitely someone you want to get picked by, you know? So he goes, "I fucking own you tonight, bitch," and smiled, and gave me a dog collar and put me on a leash. I started to freak out because I was scared to have this thing around my neck, but I was like, it's fine, he's a nice guy, this is supposed to be a joke, and the school's been doing this for 20 years, so whatever, you're fine. And everything was totally okay after that for a while. Sam was actually being a lot nicer to me than some of the other pimps were being to their hoe. This one kid bought a blunt off another by selling his hoe. Seriously. Then Sam and I ended up hooking up. He wouldn't let me take the leash off, but he was still being pretty cool with me. When we were done, as I was putting my bra back on, he took out his wallet and gave me $20. He said he had 40, but I was only worth 20 because I needed more practice. On Monday, everyone acted normal. My little brother, who's in the 7th grade, who thinks everything is pimp. His sneakers are pimp. Donuts are mad pimp, yo. Said he can't wait to be a senior so he could be the pimp. Live the fantasy.
Are you looking for a hot and barely legal Asian? I'm Shasha. I have sexy body and soft baby skin. 97 pounds. I will pamper all your needs. He bought a girl like that. He went online and scrolled through the photos of her from behind on all fours or straddling a bed, and he decided to buy her. I keep imagining how his heart must have been pounding, his hands sweating, all horny, just sitting there on his laptop in the pajamas I gave him last Christmas. That night when he got home, there wasn't a lot of talking, just slamming of doors, and the next morning we sat there over cereal. As he explained, he's been really stressed at work lately, and he's been struggling since his mom died, and he's so sorry, and he loves me more than anything, and it was just a stupid, terrible mistake. But it's not a mistake when you think and you plan and you hand over money to buy some girl's 95 pounds little body, and I want to be like, what you did is a crime, not a mistake, and that's why you got arrested. She got arrested too. She was 14. He had no idea, but I've seen thousands of these advertisements on Backpage.com now, and I don't get how anyone doesn't see that these girls are so young. She'll be convicted of prostitution, and she'll go to jail, but he'll just be slapped on the wrist, and he won't do any time. I can't be alone with him anymore. I don't like him looking at me in my towel when I leave the bathroom. And sometimes I'll catch him staring at me, tearing up, and I want to say, why are you crying? Are you crying because you've disappointed me? Because you don't like who you are? Because that girl's uncle is selling her instead of letting her go to the 8th grade? Because she's like me? Asian? Maybe from China like me, or Vietnam, or Cambodia, and no one wanted her, so she was just free to be abused? Or are you crying because unlike most guys who do this, you got caught, Dad? I hope he cries for the same reasons I do. Because he's totally 100% betrayed my mom and me, and I hate him.
Myself when I think about it. It's hard to explain everything, but real quick. When I was 12, my mother's boyfriend moved in with us, right? Before his boxes were even unpacked, he started doing stuff to me, making me shower with him, having sex with me. After like a year, I told my mother, and she slapped me in my face, told me, "How dare you say something like that about your daddy?" So what do? Go to the cops? I just left. I packed a bag, And that's how I met TK. So I end up at this diner in Bed-Stuy, all huddled up in some booth, drinking cups of tea because they were cheap. And TK comes up to me all nice. We started talking. I told him I wanted to build schools in Africa, be a lawyer, all this crazy shit. And he just told me that he can tell that I was smart. He told me I was beautiful, and he bought me grilled cheese. TK told me I can stay at his place for the night. I mean, I was 13. And where else was I gonna go? For a little bit, everything was perfect. TK bought me clothes. He got me high. He would have sex with me, but it was nice, like boyfriend, girlfriend. Then this one night, he grabbed me by my throat, told me that I had to get working. He told me that I had to bring him $300 by the morning or he'd be done with me. When I started to cry and asked him, how was I supposed to do that? He raped me and he said, that's how. That first night was the worst. I was 13 in these like 4-inch stripper heels, teetering down the track, scared. The guys were all 40 or 50. One of them hit me. One of them kept saying the sickest shit during it. And this became my everyday. Sometimes 15 to 20 guys a night. I tried to leave once. I don't want you guys to think that I didn't try. I was missing my mother. I was missing my sister. And I was like, TK, I'm done. I'm leaving, and you could burn in hell. It felt so good coming out of my mouth, you know? Then TK smashed me in the face with a frying pan, knocked out 5 of my teeth. He told me if I tried to leave again, he would rape and kill my sister right in front of me. Then he told me he loved me, and we got high. A week before my 15th birthday, I got arrested. I got cops and lawyers asking me if I had a pimp or a boyfriend. I didn't talk. You snitch, you die, and I really didn't want to die, so I got locked up. When I think about all the things I did, I go into deep depressions. I've cut myself. I don't know, I was just a kid, you know? I wasn't dumb. I wasn't a hoe. I wasn't a junkie. I was not a prostitute. I was just a little kid who got beat and raped. I have a niece. She's 4. She is so sassy. You guys would love her. She thinks she's Beyonce. She told me she wants to grow up to be like me. I hope she doesn't. She deserves better.